now, Tim, if you are ready, I'm going to kick it over to you to start the demos of these AI features that we've been just hinting at. But I
Top the
think it's
file.
now time to lift the lid.
Thank you, David. So we actually developed these tools a long time ago, but at that stage we didn't have a way to basically have a standard way for people to be able to use them without having their own AI keys. If you're familiar with AI chat, you'll know that you need to download and purchase an OpenAI key, etc. And the same with Ask AI, you need that key. So this system now, as Brian already alluded to, for people with a service contract, does give you access to the Google Gemini service. And these are tools directly available from within the editor. So we basically access them from the editor menu. So I'll just press E chord.
Editor menu.
And if I go up with .4 chord,
AI tools. I.
you'll hear AI tools and its shortcut is I. So I'm going to press enter to select that.
AI menu.
So we're in the AI menu. So I'll just walk you through it and then we'll have a quick look at how these tools work.
Ask question.
So you can ask a question. Now, this is very similar to the Ask AI aspect of AI chat that some of you may know. It basically looks at the current line or whatever's selected in your document, and that is the question, and then it gives you the answer and puts that into a temporary buffer into the file viewer. So you can read that answer, you can copy it and paste it or do whatever you want with, or you can just Z-chord to get out of that. So it's not a tool at this stage for asking questions about your document. It just takes the question that you've selected.
Spell check. S.
Spell check. Now, I just should say these are all online tools, so you do need an internet connection in order to use these. And this is just our first version of all these tools. We realize the importance of more ways to spell check, but we haven't got much more to say about that right now. But this tool allows you to select part or all of your document and choose this option, and your document will be reviewed and it will be replaced with a spell check corrected version. And I'm pretty sure that it looks at your locale. So if you're in Australia or the UK, then it will work on English spelling. And if you're in the US, then it will work on US spelling. So Zs will become S's and so on, depending on where you are. Now, the thing about this is it just makes all those changes. You can review them. If you're not happy with the result or you're just nervous about the result, you can always use the undo facility in the editor, Control Z, and that will restore your original text. And that could be just a line that you spell check or even a word.
Grammar check. G.
Grammar check basically looks again at the current line of your document, or you can mark a selection or use Control A to select all of your document, and it will make corrections to your document to proofread it and make it more presentable.
Translate. T.
This tool lets you select a portion of your document or the current line and create a translation of that into another language, and it substitutes that language into your document. We may make changes to this in a future release so that the translation appears in a buffer, a review note, so that you can look at it and paste it rather than it automatically translating and replacing your text. But at the moment, it does a replacement of your whatever the language is that you've got in your text to the language that you specify.
Summarize. Z.
You can summarize your document. That summary goes into a temporary file so that you can look at that summary.
Define word. T.
You can define a word. Now, everything to this point works on if you don't have a mark set, the current line of your document. Going forward, these last few commands that relate to a specific word, look at the word that's under your cursor. So
Define word, T.
you can define a word.
Etymology of word, E.
Etymology, that's basically the origins and evolution of a word, where it came from, how it got to where it is.
Synonyms of word, Y.
Synonyms, things that are similar, like words.
Antonyms of word,
And
N.
antonyms, that's opposites of the word. Now you can select a phrase and do definition, synonyms, antonyms, and so on, and that whole phrase will be sent to Google to give you the answer.
Ask question,
And we're back to ask a question. So let's just have a quick look at this. I'll just exit
End
out
of
of
file.
here. Now,
Products. End of file.
I'm just going to type in a word, P-R-O-P-O-S-T-O-R-O-U-S. I don't know how to spell preposterous.
Preposterous.
I have a feeling I spelled it right that time.
R-O.
Let's change that O to an E.
Preposterous.
And now what I'm going to do, I've got this line,
Preposterous.
has the word preposterous on it. I'm going to do E chord,
Editor menu, AI menu.
I for AI menu, and let's look at spell
Ask
check.
question, spell check, S, AI spell.
And now
Preposterous.
let's see how it's spelled.
R-E-P-O. Preposterous. P-R-E-P-O-S-T-E-R-O-U-S.
Okay, so I corrected that spelling because I didn't know how to spell it. And now let's get a definition of preposterous. We'll do E chord,
Editor menu,
I,
AI menu.
and we'll pop down until we get to definition. I know it's D, let's just hit D.
AI definition.
Now
View
this
an AI
definition
response.
is now in the file viewer. So if I read current line,
Here's the definition of preposterous using no.utf8 spelling. Blank.
now that's just saying it's using my locale. So
Preposterous, adjective. Blank. Meaning. Completely contrary to reason or common sense, utterly absurd or ridiculous. Blank. In simpler terms, it's something so silly or unbelievable that it makes no sense at all. Blank. Examples. Bullet. The idea of a kangaroo wearing a top hat was utterly preposterous.
now clearly it's taken note of my locale, and being in Australia, it's stereotyped kangaroos walking down Main Street, which is very common.
Bullet's excuse for being late was so preposterous, no one believed him.
Okay, so that's how the definition and so on work. If I hit Z chord, I'll be back
Exiting viewer.
into my document. I'll just quickly demonstrate ask a question. So we will
End of file.
go to the bottom of the file,
Preposterous.
and I'll just type in what
What?
is
The
the most amazing
amazing
country
country
in
the
the world? Question mark. Now this is the current line, and that's where the question is. So I can just do E chord,
editor menu,
I,
AI menu,
and
ask question,
I could hit A, but I'll hit enter on ask question.
AI ask question. Viewing AI response.
Okay.
The text block does not provide enough information to answer the question about the most amazing country in the world. The concept of amazing is subjective and depends on individual preferences, experiences, and criteria.
Well,
Blank.
clearly it's not a very good LLM because it should know that Australia is just extraordinary. But anyway, you get the idea. So this is very similar to the Ask AI or AI Ask feature of AI Chat, but it's available to everybody, and it's a bit easier to use because you just need to have your question on the line. And in addition to that, you can select more of your document and have a long detailed question, and it will provide the answer. David, do you want me to continue on and demo the repeat speech and speech history features?
Oh, yeah, sure. If you'd like, please do.
And if you want to cover anything else off on the AI after that, I'll hand back to you. So we've done a couple of things to improve clarity of what the BT Speak or the BT Braille has said. As you know, it is a speech-orientated device, or Braille and speech for the BT Braille. And what often happens is it'll say something and then you go, What did it say? And unless it's in the editor, there's no way of knowing
End
that.
of
Well, we've
file.
fixed that. So
Z chord to exit.
I'm just going to exit out of
Exiting
here.
viewer.
All right, so there's a few messages there. If I hit R chord, and you may know that this was review, but we've moved it. If I press R chord now, it will repeat the last thing the BT Speak said.
Exiting viewer.
So you heard it saying exiting viewer a moment ago, and I'll do that again.
Exiting viewer.
It said exiting viewer. If I do R chord with .8, it will copy that message to the clipboard.
14 characters copied.
So if you did a quick count, you'll know that exit viewer is 14 characters. Now that's certainly very helpful to be able to capture to the clipboard or to hear what was said, but we've also added a full speech history now, and it keeps to up to 500 of the last meaningful spoken messages from the BT Speak or BT Braille. So what I'm going to do is hit R chord again with .7, and this will take us into the file viewer, and it will place us on the most recent message that was spoken.
Speech history. Exiting viewer.
Exiting viewer, we've got that. Now if I do .1 chord,
Note55.txt. File 4 of 27.
it says note55.txt. If I go up again,
Z chord to exit.
Z chord to exit,
End of file.
end of file. This can be a bit tricky because if you forget you're here and you hear end of file, you may think you're in the editor. So to be sure, you can do a WH chord.
At line 501, viewing speech history.
Okay, so we're at 501. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but
The text block viewing AI response. The text block does not provide enough information to answer the question about the most amazing country.
yes, good. Now the useful thing about this being in the file viewer is you can mark text. You can create a block of text, or you can just use Control C to copy the current line, and you can paste it somewhere else into a Braille file. It obviously the clipboard automatically translates Braille into text and text into Braille. So here you could, this is great when you're writing notes. David, you may have tried this, that when you're working on documentation, you can run an app and then you can go into the speech history here and copy and paste all of the messages to create your documentation. So it has lots of benefits. I'm going to Z chord to get out of speech history.
Exit.
And if I WH chord now,
Line 37, column 47, in note55.txt.
and I'm in note 55, which is a copy of the release notes. So that's one of the new sets of features that will be turning up in April. I'll hand back to David now.
Thank you so much, Tim. That was great. I do agree. This set of features regarding speech history, being able to review it, copy it, and paste it anywhere will, I think, be very helpful to a lot of people. I'm going to go back to where Tim was with AI, and I will show you the summarize feature. So in my BT Speak, I have a copy of the first 4 chapters of a book. It's Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I'm going to go into that file now.
Littlewomen.txt.
There we go.
File 2 of 4.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the top of this,
Top of file.
and I want to get a summary of the first 2 chapters. So let's move to the beginning of chapter 1.
H1, part 1. Blank. Number chapter 1, playing pilgrims.
Okay, so I'm on right at the beginning of chapter 1 called Playing Pilgrims. I'm going to put a mark here.
Mark set.
Okay, I did that with M chord. I'm going to move to the next chapter. The way I do that, these chapters have headings, so I'm going to press dots 3, 5, 6 chord to move to the next heading in this book.
H2, chapter 2, A Merry Christmas.
Chapter 2 is called A Merry Christmas, and I want to move past that to the beginning of chapter 3. I'll press 3, 5, 6 chord again to move to the next heading.
H2, chapter 3, The Lawrence Boy.
The Lawrence Boy. Okay, so I am now right past the end of chapter 2, and I have a mark set at the beginning of chapter 1. So this is good because I want to summarize everything from the mark, the beginning of chapter 1, right up to the beginning of chapter 3. So, in other words, I want to get a summary of the first two chapters. And I'm ready to do that now. So, as Tim said earlier, we're going to go into the editor menu with eChord.
Editor menu.
I'll press I, which is the shortcut for AI tools.
AI menu.
And I'm in the AI menu now.
Ask question.
And there's
Spell
ask
check.
questions. We
Grammar
have
check.
spell
T.
check, grammar check,
Translate. T.
translate.
Summarize. Z.
And I'm going to show you some of the magic behind the spell check and the grammar check right after this. But
Summarize. Z.
I'm on the summarize option. I'm going to press enter.
AI summarize.
It's now.
AI response.
Ooh, that was quick. Okay. So I should now have a summary of the first two chapters of Little Women. Let's go
Top of file.
to the top. I'm in a temporary viewer, and I'm not going to read the entire summary, but we'll read a small chunk of it so you can see what it did.
The four March sisters Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy face a meager Christmas without presents due to their father's absence in the war and their family's poverty. They decide to forego individual gifts and instead purchase presents for their mother, Marmee. On Christmas morning, instead of presents, they each
Okay, I stopped that with dot 7 and 8, but it seems to have done a very good job summarizing the chapter. This is a summary of chapter 1, Playing Pilgrims. And I could review this just as I review any other file. I can read this line by line, word by word, character by character. I could mark a block of text from this summary and copy and paste it into a document. I'm going to press Z chord,
exiting viewer,
which exits the temporary viewer. And now I'm back in my Little Women file. I can verify that by pressing dots 156 chord.
At line 223 in littlewomen.txt.
Yeah, so, and I want to show you one more final feature before we open it up to any questions that you might have. I have a file.
Questions. File 3 of 4.
That one.
Spelling.
There
File
we go.
4 of 4.
So I have a file called spelling. It's a very simple file. The first line
file
says,
now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country.
Okay, what it was supposed to be is now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. I misspelled most of the words on that line.
Is.
For example, time, I spelled it
T Y I
T Y
M
I M
M
M E. So I really butchered that word.
For al.
I misspelled all.
Good. Men.
I even
E H.
It wasn't obvious with speech, but I misspelled men. I wrote MEHN. I misspelled country also. So, and I also have a grammatically incorrect sentence.
Blank. I ain't going to the store no more.
I wrote, I ain't going to the store no more. I did not capitalize the word I. I is lowercase. And I wrote GOIN for going. So it's definitely grammatically incorrect. I want to spell check this.
Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid. Cap N.
Okay, I'm going to move to the beginning of the now is the time sentence. I'm going to place a mark. And let's move past that line and go to the editor menu, the AI menu, and we'll press S for spell check.
I go into the store no more.
Okay. Now, it didn't grammatically check that second line, but it should have fixed.
Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid. Topic file. Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country.
Yep, it sounds perfect.
Is.
Let's look at the word time.
Time. T. I. M. E.
Yeah, did a good job. Now let's go to that grammatically incorrect sentence.
I ain't going to the store no more.
I ain't going to the store no more.
I.
We'll move to the beginning of the line. I press dots 1-3 chord for beginning of the line, and I will mark that.
Mark removed. Mark set.
There we go. I had to remove the mark from the top of the file, but now we're
End of
good
file.
to go. And I want to grammatically
New
or
line.
grammar check this. So
Editor
we'll
menu.
press E chord for the editor menu.
AI menu.
Okay.
Ask question. Spell check. Grammar check. G.
And grammar check.
AI proofread. I am not going to the store anymore.
And it said, and now it changed it to, I am not going to the store anymore.
I am not going to the store anymore.
There we go. What's cool, as Tim said, I know I happen to like these changes, but if for some reason I didn't, or if I wanted to reverse it, I can press undo. And what's nice about the undo command is it tells you what it undid. It doesn't just say undo. So if I press Control Z,
Undid AI correction.
it says undid AI correction. So it's letting me know that the AI correction that I made has been undone.
Now is the time for all. End of file. I ain't going to the store no more.
And now that grammatically incorrect sentence is back.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this.